Welcome to Maple Leaf Numismatics. Today we are exploring the fascinating history of Canadian Tire Money, a uniquely Canadian loyalty program that has evolved into a cultural icon. First issued in 1958, these distinctive coupons have become collectible in their own right, reflecting decades of retail innovation and national identity. The Canadian Tire Corporation began in 1922 when brothers John William Bills and Alfred Jackson Bills opened a small tire and automotive accessory shop. 36 years later, they ventured into the gasoline business, launching their first gas bar in 1958. At a time when competitors were vying for customers with rock-bottom fuel prices, Alfred's wife Muriel proposed a novel incentive: reward every purchase with paper coupons that could be spent on the next visit. These coupons, soon known as Canadian Tire Money, featured Sandy McTire, a cheerful, tam-wearing Scotsman with a handlebar mustache, and were printed on the same high-quality stock used for Canada's actual banknotes by the British American Banknote Company and the Canadian Banknote Company. Denominated in cents and dollars and brightly colored, the bills closely resembled legal tender. While most Canadians simply tucked their Canadian Tire Money into glove boxes or kitchen drawers, a dedicated community began to treat these colorful coupons as collectible curiosities. The Canadian Tire Money Collectors Club, a niche fellowship of roughly 250 enthusiasts, spent decades preserving and cataloging notes. Every denomination, known serial range, and printing anomaly has its own entry, transforming what was once pocket change into prized memorabilia. We have 10 interesting stories highlighting various uses of Canadian Tire Money. First, in Edmonton, Brian McPherson carefully squirreled away every coupon he earned for 15 years. When he finally opened his stash in 2011, it totaled $1,053, enough to drive home a brand-new riding lawn mower and prove that patience and loyalty really do pay off. Toronto singer-songwriter Corin Raymond took a different approach in 2011 by issuing a public call for unwanted Canadian Tire Money to fund his next album. Rogue Studios agreed to accept the bills at face value, and before long he had amassed 25 kilograms, over $6,000 in coupons, which covered studio time and production costs for his 20-song collection of Canadian-themed tunes aptly titled Paper Nickels, released in early 2013. In Vancouver, a grassroots campaign in 2007 demonstrated the charitable potential of Canadian Tire Money. Volunteers collected $1,100 worth of coupons, and Canadian Tire matched that sum, enabling the purchase of 60 sleeping bags, 60 pairs of thermal socks, and 20 heavy blankets for the lookout shelter. Their success showed that what seemed like pocket change could translate into life-saving supplies for those in need. On the beaches of Jamaica in 1990, an ingenious vendor of handmade trinkets accepted Canadian Tire Money in exchange for his goods. He would then mail the funny money back to family members in Canada, turning those colorful scripts into vital financial support across thousands of miles. In Quebec in 1996, a Trois-Rivières man arrived at Canadian Tire lugging a suitcase brimming with Canadian Tire Money to cover a $480 repair bill for 4 new tires and an alignment. He later confessed to having purchased his first bicycle at the age of 9 with the same store currency, illustrating just how deep his loyalty ran. In Calgary and Edmonton, 2 local establishments, Pete's Peanut Pub and Liquor International, made headlines by accepting Canadian Tire Money in lieu of cash for beer and spirits. On busy days at Liquor International, up to $200 worth of coupons flowed through the till, highlighting both the novelty and acceptance of this alternative currency. A criminal investigation in Kingston in 1998 hinged on Canadian Tire Money when burglars stole $600 in coupons from a home. Police alerted nearby Canadian Tire locations, and sure enough, someone attempted a large purchase with the stolen script. When the thieves tried to return the merch for real cash 3 days later, they were promptly arrested and charged with break-and-enter and theft. In late 2004, Moncton residents experienced an odd surprise when CIBC ATMs dispensed Canadian Tire bills instead of legal tender. 11 customers walked away with bundles of coupons, all of whom were later reimbursed by the bank. The mishap became local legend and a quirky footnote in the town's history. Canadian Tire money even made its way into pop culture. In the 2009 Trailer Park Boys movie Countdown to Liquor Day, the ever-scheming Jim Leahy offers Julian $700 in Canadian Tire cash for his trailer, proving that even fictional characters value these colorful coupons. Perhaps most astonishing is the mid-1990s case in Germany, where authorities intercepted up to $11 million in counterfeit Canadian Tire money before the suspect could board a flight to Canada. The incident underscored just how seriously people and criminals took the bright bills. As digital technology reshaped retail, Canadian Tire introduced a plastic loyalty card in 2012, bringing the venerable program into the 21st century. 6 years later, this system was rebranded as Triangle Rewards, integrating points tracking across partnered brands and mobile apps for a seamless experience. The move offered personalized deals and real-time account management, advantages paper coupons could never match. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic, which led to the suspension of paper Canadian Tire money issuance and redemption in March 2020 for health safety reasons. Although redemption briefly resumed that July, the company announced in May 2023 that no new paper coupons would be printed except for occasional commemorative issues. Thus concluded the era of the world's oldest continuous loyalty program in its original paper form. From humble gas bar giveaways to collectible rarities worth thousands, and from riding mowers to rock albums, Canadian Tire money fueled loyalty, creativity, and community spirit for over 60 years. Thank you for joining us at Maple Leaf Numismatics.